My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, and this is our Close Quarters, your daily news blitz in 15 minutes. And we start out with the first scandal. The most important scandal of today is how Biden issued nearly 4 million Social Security numbers to non-citizens provided just 5 months after filing asylum claims in the mail. No interview and no ID check. People with Social Security numbers that we had no idea who they were. As a result, they still can access benefits like Medicaid and get driver's licenses. So this is exploding right now. People are really outraged of how was this possible? And we all know how was this possible. The Democrats wanted to hijack the population and all this chaos that ensued. Through an absolutely insane amount of fraud, waste, and abuse, largest fraud in history, trillions of dollars. Millions of illegal immigrants receive Social Security, Medicare benefits, and even voting. It's not a conspiracy anymore. It's like conspiracy theorists have +1 point again. A scheme to permanently shift blue. People need to go to jail, and you can see here a graph. We have 2 graphs, and this one, 2024, you can see the spike in the amount of new non-citizen Social Security numbers issued. How is it possible? Where with Democrats, you know that everything is possible because they want to perpetuate themselves in power. Those decider, Democrats issued Social Security numbers to millions of criminal aliens. Below is a graph of new non-citizen Social Security numbers issued. And before you say, but how many of them were criminal? Well, if they are illegal, they entered the country illegally and then they committed a crime. In principle, it's that simple. It's just right out of the gate. So, biggest scam ever. There are far more eligible Social Security numbers than there are citizens in the USA. This might be the biggest fraud in history. We thought that USAID was bad. This is much worse, and this is the exposition
to reveal what's really going on. Doge exposed our immigration asylum disaster. That was the tip of the iceberg. Now here's the story. Doge has found that immigration gave a work authorization document to illegals just 5 months after they filed for asylum. That document allowed them to work while they waited to hear whether their asylum request had been accepted or denied. So they could work as an illegal, knowing it would take years before their case was heard.
Yeah, you heard that right. They could work as illegals for years until they had an actual hear of their case.
The Immigration Department mailed them a Social Security number. No interview, no proof of identity. Just put it in the mail. Here's your number. In 2021, Doge says 270,000 new aliens were issued Social Security numbers, 590,000 in 2022, 964,000 in 2023, and 2.1 million in 24, right before Biden left office. Doge also discovered that 1.3 million aliens are now receiving Medicaid. Millions receive driver's licenses.
How many citizens of the United States would require those services, like legal citizens? And yeah, so many of the Democrat Party saying that, oh yeah, but it's like Jasmine Crockett that is saying that, oh, the illegals have contributed 100 billion in taxes, and she has no way of backing up those claims because they just want to make it seem like, oh, how great are illegals. They really hate American citizens. That's the truth.
Some registered to vote, and Doge says some actually did vote. Try and square that against Democrat claims that Musk is destroying Social Security and cutting Medicaid. He's not destroying. He's weeding out people who don't qualify. Who is really guilty of misinformation in this case? It is not Elon Musk.
Yeah, so many people hating on Elon Musk, and well, he's the one exposing, he's weeding out whatever is going on. CBS News, migrants who were temporarily allowed to live in the United States by using a Biden-era online appointment app have been told to leave the country immediately, officials said. And Trump has said that he's going to punish, you will have to pay 1,000 a day if you overstay as an illegal in the United States. I don't know how those people are going to pay for it, but I guess that if you don't self-deport as soon as possible, then you will be, well, you'll be in real debt with the United States. Insurrection Barbie, because the IRS is also about to be audited by Dodge. IRS sharing undocumented migrant data with ICE means that mass deportations are coming. So many people are complaining that we haven't heard about the real advance of ICE. How is ICE thriving? How many numbers? What are the actual numbers in there? We need to be deporting like 1 million a day, something like that, or a month. Eric Doherty, Trump administration is revoking parole status for up to 1 million migrants. They are now vulnerable to deportation unless they self-deport, which is the healthiest option. If you self-deport, you will not have, the prejudice in your passport or whatever you have as an identification. It's the best approach. Self-deport. Go do it yourself. DHS says parole was canceled for migrants who entered under Biden's CBP One app, and those were a lot. They can now use that app to self-deport. Per Politico, this can impact over, close to 1 million migrants. And speaking of the IRS, acting head of the IRS to quit after the agency agrees to share information with immigration enforcement officials. As per the Washington Post, this is going to be one of the biggest scandals of this month, because when everything is known about this, and people really find out about what is going on with IRS, it means that illegals are paying for taxes, right? They paying their taxes, right? Not exactly, and it's not like the claims of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the cruel spree to terrorize immigrants, screws over all working Americans. She really said that. Undocumented people pay billions into Medicare, Social Security, and programs they are ineligible for. It's important to, can you share some stats? Can you share some actual government documents? It would be great if we can see those stats. You just insert a link. It's that simple. Do you know how to insert a link on a tweet? AOC? You don't? You can ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT can help you. Hunting them also creates this social safety net. What is this? What is a social safety net? You know how many criminals have been led into the United States to commit crimes at large, and they are caught and released over and over again in these sanctuary cities that make no damn sense? This is how the billionaire class divides and conquers, and you know why they only talk about the billionaire class, because they cannot talk about the millionaire class for all the Democrats who are, multimillionaires. And by the way, now that I think of it, the Democrats keep saying that eat the rich, and you have to go against the millionaires and billionaires and do the fair share and make sure that they, get the day of reckoning. And the moment Donald Trump imposes tariffs, and all of a sudden there's a market correction in which it has already corrected into the green again. But those 12 or 24 hours that the market was red, Democrats were still criticizing Trump for what they wanted to do in the first place. The day of reckoning, all these millionaires and billionaires to have their comeuppance. Trump can't do anything. I told you, Trump can't save all the puppies and kittens in the world, and the Democrats will criticize him for the very things that they have wanted to do, but they are not going to do it. Why? Because they are also millionaires and billionaires. It's that simple. It's that hypocrisy. So the IRS has agreed to share immigrants' tax information with ICE to facilitate deportations. And thanks to Musk derangement syndrome, MDS, Musk syndrome, he has a very good analysis for AOC, so she can understand, in her terms that AOC can understand, because she belongs to that She belongs to that DEI level employee and higher that need just a bit of a help. Just a bit of a help. AOC, let me educate you on this topic. Per a Budget House report on January of 2024, illegals are a net fiscal drain of $68,000 per person. Per person, and we are talking about millions. 68,000 per person, net fiscal drain. Anybody can understand that. The tax payments of illegal immigrants do not come close to covering the costs they create. Some additional facts per the report. Number one, illegals have a negative fiscal impact primarily because a large share have modest levels of education, resulting in a relatively low average incomes and tax payments. Number two, illegals make extensive use of welfare. 59% of households headed by illegal immigrants use one or more major welfare programs, compared to 39% of households headed by the U.S.-born. So, illegals, number three, illegals can receive welfare on behalf of U.S.-born children. Also, illegal immigrant children can receive school, lunch, breakfast, and WEIC directly. Number four, 94% of illegal immigrant households have at least one worker, compared to only 73% of U.S.-born households. You know what that means. You know what that means. You don't tell me you don't know what that means. And number five, illegal immigration makes significant use of public education. It is estimated 4 million children of illegal immigrants in public schools created $68 billion in costs in 2019. Oh, but Jesus, how are you so heartless? Why can't these children of illegal migrants have access to school? Yeah, you are right. Every children of no matter where they come from, if they are in an area, they have the right. They are children. They have no say in the mistakes of their parents. It's that simple. But their parents, it's like Tom Holland said, you should be deported as a family. It's that simple. The children have absolutely no fail. They are innocent. They should be attending school no matter where they are, no matter under which conditions. But you can imagine that if you have more and more children from illegal migrants flooding their schools, and then the education is not going to be the same. The quality of the education, there's going to be shortage on resources, there's going to be shortage on teachers, there's going to be too many kids per classroom. That will never work. So, yeah, it's you have to put, if you want to put America first, you know what that means. So again, the children have absolutely no fault on this, have absolutely no fault about this, but this is part of the bad decisions of the parents. And use of emergency medical services is another area in which illegal immigrants create significant fiscal costs. Prior research indicates that there are 5.8 million uninsured illegal immigrants in the country in 2019. So moving on, Senator John Kennedy has some words for AOC, and they are pure gold. You know that I love Senator John Kennedy.
What do you think of the new leadership, Jasmine, AOC, and Bernie?
I consider Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez to be the leader of the Democratic Party. She's entitled to her opinion. I'm entitled to mine. As I've said about her before, I think she's the reason there are directions on a shampoo bottle. And our plan for dealing with her...
You didn't plan that out. We got her.
Our plan for dealing with her is called Operation Let Her Speak.
Yeah, Operation Let Her Speak. I've said the same. You just let her speak, because that's what's going on. That's going to help. And yeah, she's essentially the leader of the Democratic Party right now. And in terms of Democrats as well, maybe I will go a bit over the 15 minutes of my close quarters, but let's do this. Breaking Supreme Court. We already know 5-4 decision lifts restraining order against Trump administration and takes Venezuelan deportee case away from Judge Boasberg. And who were those four who voted to defend the cartels? The woke. And Amy Coney Barrett is another disappointment yet again. This is what's not surprising. Amy Coney Barrett was the only conservative Supreme Court member to agree with the Democrat-appointed justices rejecting President Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act. There's something that, sadly, it is what it is. We will have to keep dealing with her. And on the other side, Trump's decisions, Trump's tariffs went into effect a few hours ago. China received the highest tariff after refusing to back down, a whopping 104%. And it's interesting that Vagrant of Rhodes put it out that in Japan, in Japanese, the number 104 or 104 is sometimes used as a slang term for angel, tenshi, because 10 is 10 in Japanese and she is 4. Oh, well, this might be a nod to Shinzo Abe. Shinzo, we miss you. You are so dearly missed. And the Nikkei, after that backlash on that day, the day of the tariff meltdown, that so many people lost their minds, the Nikkei up and quite well. Nothing to complain here. But China, going back to China, she can only stay the supreme leader as people have employed. If there are these huge tariffs in China, where they edge is that their labor, which is so cheap because it is subsidized by the CCP, then, well, people are going to go unemployed. And unemployed people are usually, very angry at the government. So it would be ungovernable. Maybe that's Trump's plan. America is the #1 economy on earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall. Kevin O'Leary calls for 400% tariffs on China. Yes, and there's also the Trump administration is claiming that Chinese intelligence is using deceptive methods to target current and former U.S. government employees for recruitment by posting as consultant firms. You know, the usual say infiltration, which is already going on their TikTok. And well, just to finish today's close quarters, we have a montage of Trump. It's not a montage, it's he saying China, the way that only he knows how to say it.
The same people now telling me about how to deal with China are the ones who sold out America for decades to China. For decades, they gave up to China. I'm the only one that you know how much? China's paid almost $700 billion in tariffs under me. And then they say, Donald Trump hasn't been tough on China.
Well, remember to like and subscribe. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Remember the most important words. Much love and bliss.